5.0 Coyote engine. It's beautiful modular design. It is great until you hear this. Typewriter tick. If you heard that, well, you're probably freaking out if you never did before. So let's figure out what are some of the weakest links of the Coyote engine. First up, as you heard, is the typewriter tick. And the reason it got its name is, well, because it sounds like a typewriter, tapping away. It happens from an oil change. It happens just from driving and wear and tear. There's no definitive answer from Ford. However, there are solutions that apparently help it, such as oil changes, adding Ceratec to each oil change. Some suspected issues as to why it happens is valve train, injectors, even pulleys and belt. No one really knows. Second big thing on the list is the oil pump gears. Now, if you're an enthusiast, you probably already know about this, especially if you want big boost, high horsepower in your car. Oil pump gears are not that strong. They're just regular cast aluminum, and I'm sure you guys have seen the drop test.
There we go, she's dropped from about 1.8 meters.
It's not really a good indicator of how strong a gear is because it's basically due to harmonic vibrations and balancing when you rev the hell out of it. It's just a gimmick in a way, in my opinion. So if you upgrade them to more of a billet aluminum or any other option, you're gonna be a lot better off. If those go, your engine's is in a world of hurt. So the next item on the list is the Crankshaft Sprocket. Crank sprocket essentially is powdered metal from the factory, all right? So it's not that strong at all. And as you decide to increase power, as you decide to go and increase your RPMs, what's gonna happen is you risk that part failing. A lot of people, just like the oil pump gears, like to add that part in there for added peace of mind. Now, if you're a person who enjoys stock, cruises and you don't want to touch that much, you just have an axle back, cat back, whatever, cold air intake, you'll be fine. That's my thought on it, right? You'll be fine, you can take that risk, right? If you're not going crazy in the RPMs, you'll be okay. Here's a big one. Big one is rods and pistons, okay? Rods and pistons are considered a weak point of the Coyote engine. Now, why is that? Well, guys are running 650, 700 horsepower on stock block, no problem. But it's almost like running on borrowed time. You could be cruising down the road one day and they just fail. Rings fail or you warp cylinders, whatever you're doing, it's gonna be a bad day. I know most guys will run Paxtons, Whipples, turbos, etc. And they'll push 650, 700, no problem. But eventually that will, degrade reliability of the engine. Here's another part of the Coyote engine that's a weak link, and it's not so direct. The cost of upgrading the Coyote engine is significantly more than other platforms in the past and what I've seen. Forced induction kits, okay, let's give that as an example. You can go to a 3-valve design, any of the 3-valve engines, and you can find probably a centrifugal or a turbo kit for like 3,500 to 4 grand. Now with the Coyote, you're pushing 7, 8 grand easy already. But any good Whipple setup, after tuning and fuel and all that, you're well into the $10,000 range. So that begs the question, should you just buy something with it already made, right? Save yourself the labor costs, save yourself all the actual headaches and everything. That's your decision. Everything's going up due to inflation, but it seems like there's a Coyote tax like the Corvette tax has, because the industry is so popular with Mustangs that you can actually put it out there because people will pay for it. And in addition to the cost of upgrading for parts for the Coyote engine, the form factor package of the Coyote engine, it's definitely a lot larger. Long tube headers, for example, you know how bad that installation is because you have no room to work, you need swivel extensions, you gotta lay on your back if you don't have a lift. It could be a nightmare or it could be easy if you know what you're doing. The flip side of that is also same with the starter and all the other components that are underneath there. If you're doing it by yourself or you're not that mechanically inclined, it's gonna cost you a lot of money to get those installed. Well, I hope you guys learned something about the weakest parts of the Coyote engine, and I hope it was educational for you guys. If it is, let me know. On that note, catch you guys next time. See ya.